Hi guys, Barry Drennan, Fairbairn Protocol s.o.e. I want to talk to you a little about eye gouges. Everybody with the eye gouges, you're going to gouge, and it's all magic. Everything's magic. You're going to gouge it into the eye and you're going to solve every problem that ever happened since the beginning of man. It's bullshit. The idea of gouging, first of all, there's an extremity to it. There's got to be a rationale behind it when you go into court. There's a lot of things that come into it, especially if you're trying to gouge the owl out. Now, everybody and their uncle understands that if you're in a circumstance for example, you're in battle as a soldier, and the guy, now you're working under the laws of being in war as a soldier, which means you're allowed to kill people, maim them, and you're fighting a guy for your life, and you gouge his eye out. Fine, that's wonderful, totally functional. I'm not discrediting it. But when I'm getting in a fisticuff at the dépanneur or at the corner store because of a little minor encounter, and I decide I'm going to gouge his eye out, court may seem that as unreasonable actions considering the situation, because the court looks at it through all kinds of stuff. And remember, anytime you're in court, you're being judged by people that have no idea of what was involved, the fear involved, the circumstance, the emotion, the sense of threat. They have no idea. And they're going to also be all martial art experts because they've seen every Bruce Willis film in sight. And, you know, so these guys are going to determine what you do. So the reality of leaping in and your first move is gouging his eye out is a bit of a bullshit. But it's important to understand that using the eye as a manipulative tool is functional and it's appropriate. You can do it almost anywhere, anytime, for any reason that involves physical conflict. Obviously, it's not a negotiating tool under conversation, but under physical conflict. So you can insert your finger into the eye. You can insert it into the top of the eye. You can go around the eyeball. And the idea here being is that you can use it to manipulate the head. You can move it to pull the head back, to push the back, to rotate over, to help move the body. This is particularly good, and I've done this in the actual life, it's real experience, when you're fighting a big son of a bitch. You've got to get in there and get control. Now muscle to muscle, that's not me. I don't have those assets to bring against a big fellow. So what you can do is get into that eye socket area. There's 5 tendons that hold the eye in place via muscle structure, and they cause the rotation and variability of that rotation within the eye. We can tear those, which will require reparation, but you don't even have to get that far. You get in, and then you make pressure, and you make the move. Understand, the minute, the second, the moment you pull that thumb back out of the eye, he's ready to go again. He will not be harmed. He will not be agonized. And I doubt very much from my experience he's going to be afraid. He's going to be back in the game, fucking serious. And that's okay, because he's already in the game. He's already serious. He's already trying to hurt me. But I have to understand that I'm only doing a manipulation. It's not an end to things. But it gives me the power, the opportunity to affect the stabilization of him as a big guy that does not require strength-to-strength competition. So I can get into the eye, I can push him back. I can get into the eye, I can push him back. I can help rotate him off this way, that type of thing. If I'm inside here, I can push down and create him. The same thing by pushing up into the top of the eye. So when I'm always going in around the top of the eye and pushing this way and such, and pushing, I can create those situations where that susceptibility of the eye allow me to cause motion. Of course, there's also the idea of just giving blinding things. Now, this is not blinding like, oh, I'm blind forever, give me a dog. No, this is blinding where it's a blink. It's a blink, that's all. We just want them to blink. Get a little blip out of it. You know, you blink and then blip, and maybe that gives you a chance to do something else. You know, this is the concept. Blink. So from you can be a little man, let's relax. What the hell? Blink. You see, just a little blink, and then that sets up something else. So whether it's manipulation or a blip, you have moments that you work with, and those moments, I always say, the only thing I want to fight is another second. because that gives me something to do, allow it time to do something. Well, this is where that use of the eye can come in and allow us to do something. Push them off a little bit to get the knee into the groin area, something like that. There's lots of it. If you play with these things and you work with a partner in motion, not a static bob necessarily, you can see how these things can develop, and you can twist the head off, bring the knee into the Charlie horse or the thigh. Different things that allow you to get advantages. Little grains of sand that you can put your side of the scale. Give me a second and I'll go home. So this is stuff to think about, and it's stuff to train with. And again, from different sides, you can come into these angles. You don't have to be in front of your opponent. You can be beside the opponent. You can take them back. You can do lots of variation. The more you work, obviously from behind, you can take it back. Lots and lots of variations. But the trick is to get these into your files in your cerebellum so that they come out, naturally. And then you start to be able to have a tool that can manipulate greater than strength, which is a very hard object to have. So, have a great day, guys. Kick it around. I hope you throw a few comments back. Hope we get some feedback from you. Have a great day.